So I'm going to show you how to do the Tunisian join as you go method. So our end result will look something like this, where you can just continue attaching squares without having to sew it up. First, you're going to need a Tunisian square, one that we're going to be attaching to. And this join by method is for attaching to the right side of a square. It doesn't matter what the stitch is in the middle. You can do any Tunisian stitch because every Tunisian stitch is going to look the same on the right side here. So first, to start, we're going to need the yarn of what you're going to be attaching. So I'm going to be attaching a green square on this side of the gray one. So when looking at the square face up, we're going to be attaching to the bottom right corner here. So first, you're going to need a slip knot. You can do a slip knot by wrapping the yarn around your finger twice, pulling the back loop over the front, and then the now back loop all the way over your finger, and then tightening. And then set the slip knot aside, and we're just going to keep it handy. The way that join by method works is you're going to be attaching to the back loop and the third loop, which is this guy here. You can just do the back loop here, but it leaves a hole, and so you don't get that nice seamless join as you do with the third loop. So I will show you that here. So you want to insert your hook into where we'll be attaching first. You're going to go into the back loop. So there's the back loop. Here's the front loop. So we're going to go only the back loop. And then you're also going to go through that third loop here. And so if we turn it to the back of your work, you can see that third loop. So we got the back loop, the third loop, the back third, and so forth. That's what we're going to be going into. So let's bring it back to the front again, put our hook into the back loop and that third loop, and leave your hook there. You're going to put your slip knot on where we just put our hook into. We're going to then pull the slip knot through. So you should have something looking like this. Now you're going to chain however many you need, however many the pattern says you need. I think mine is 13 if I remember correctly. So we're going to chain whatever amount you need to, and mine being 13. Alright, so now that we have our chain, this is the foundation of the next square we'll be adding. So next we're going to do a Tunisian simple stitch, since that is what every square starts with. And we're going to do that in the back bumps, so we have a nice edge on the bottom of our work. So you're going to insert your hook into the back bump, and then yarn over and pull up a loop, and do that all the way until your very last chain. So now, with however many stitches you chained, you should have that many loops on your hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I have 13 loops on my hook, and that's how many I chained. So that is correct. Now, you want to insert your hook back in to where you joined to the first square, behind the back loop and the third loop. And then while we do this too, we want to hide that yarn tail, so we're going to tuck it there, and then we're going to yarn over and pull through. And that is the 14th loop on your hook. So this counts as one stitch. So the way to return pass now is you're going to yarn over and pull through 2 all the way across until you have 1 loop left on your hook. So we're going to yarn over, pull through 2, kind of tighten it a little bit because this is the one we're joining with, and then yarn over, pull through 2 across. Alright, and there you go. So we attached row 1 to our square. So now we're just going to continue doing that across, attaching to the back loop and the third loop with whatever Tunisian crochet stitch the pattern calls for. Mine is the smock stitch, so I'm going to be doing that. I'm not going to really go over what I'm doing here. I have specific videos for types of Tunisian stitches if you would like to watch those. But for now, I'm just going to Tunisian crochet across until I get to right before the square we're joining to. You should have whatever stitch you did, and you should have 13 or whatever your stitch amount is on your hook. The smock stitch calls for a yarn under at the end, so ignore this loop over here. This just counts as my last stitch. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. And then we're going to, yet again, insert the hook into the back loop and the third loop here. The third loop right here. So back loop and third loop. I forgot to do it on mine, but just make sure that you're hiding that yarn tail as you pull through. Should have your 2 loops there. And then yarn over and pull through. Pull through. So now you should have your 14 loops on your hook, or whatever count you're supposed to have for your pattern. Now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to yarn over and pull through 2 all the way down until we have 1 loop left on our hook. So yarn over, pull through 2, and then tighten that first one up a bit, and then yarn over, pull through 2 across. Alright, and there we go. So we attach to the second row now of the last square. So you're just going to continue doing this until you've attached to every single stitch on this side of the square. And then you should have a new square attached to your first square. So I will do one more row with you and then show you the end result. So Tunisian crochet across to whatever stitch you are working on. So you should have 13 loops on your hook, or however many you need. So you're going to insert into the back loop and the third loop again, and then you want to keep hiding that tail across, and then yarn over, pull through. So now we have 14. So then yarn over, pull through 2, tighten it up a bit, yarn over, pull through 2, all the way down. Great, and there you go. So continue doing this and I will show you the end result. Okay, so that is all the rows that I needed to complete to join my 2 squares together. I would make sure and double count on the right side to make sure you have the right amount of rows and that you don't count this slip stitch or single crochet at the top of the left square as a row that you need to go into. Okay, so now that I've got my Tunisian square completed and it's joined into the next one, I'm just going to add a row of single crochets on the very top. You can slip stitch across, but I'm just going to do single crochets. I'm doing so by going underneath the vertical bar and then doing a normal single crochet. Okay, so once you get to the end where you've single crocheted or slip stitched underneath every vertical bar, you're going to add one more into the last place you went into the back loop and third loop. Just closes up that space there. So I'm going to do a single crochet because that's what I've been doing. And then for the very last one, I'm just going to go into the first slip stitch of the previous square and then our first single crochet in the previous square and slip stitch together. To join those, we can cut and fasten off. And there you go, you've got 2 joined squares together. I should have released this pattern with this tutorial video, so if you want a pattern to practice with, I definitely recommend this headband pattern. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was pretty straightforward. If you have any questions, definitely let me know.